FBO 7 to 15. Okay. You have any doubts in that? Hmm. Okay, let me take the doubts of FBO. Wait a minute. ठीक है, FBO के डाउट्स लेते हैं पहले. एक सेकंड रुकना. क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 to 15. हाँ, वापस से पोस्ट करो. डाउट क्वेश्चन नंबर कौन कौन से क्वेश्चन में डाउट है? क्वेश्चन नंबर 13 में डाउट है. हाँ ठीक है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 13 करते हैं पहले. Many people have doubt in question number 13. Let me solve the question number 13 first. A 1000-watt radio transmitter operates at a frequency of 880 kilocycles per second. The frequency is 880 kilocycles per second. यहाँ पे cycles per second important है. ठीक है, 1 hertz is 1 cycle per second. Effectively it has 1 oscillation per second. 1 cycle per second is 1 oscillation per second. ठीक है, तो 880 किलो साइकिल्स पर सेकेंड इज इफेक्टिवली इक्वल टू 880 हर्ट्ज. एनर्जी ऑफ वन फोटोन विल बी इक्वल टू एच न्यू 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 880 kilohertz into 880 kilohertz is 10 to the power 3. So this is the energy in joules. ठीक है, number of photons is suppose n and number of photons per second is n. Energy per second will be power into time. Energy, total energy will be power into time. Power is 1000 watts. Time is 1 second. This should be equal to nh nu 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into 880 into 10 to the power 3. Solve for this and find the value of n. समझा? Is this clear? Send your messages to the host, not to the co-host. Okay, when you type something in the chat, try and send your messages to the host. ठीक है, 13th question is done. Any more doubt before question number 13? ठीक है, हटा दूं ये. Shall I remove this? Fine. And question number 14, 15. Any more doubts? 14, 15. ठीक है. Let us proceed further. Sorry. Okay. It is atomic structure lecture 9. We'll continue with Planck's quantum theory. We'll do some more questions based on Planck's quantum theory. A dye absorbs a photon of lambda is equal to 400 nanometer and emits the absorbed energy in the form of two different photons. Two different photons of of wavelengths lambda 1 and lambda 2. If lambda 1 is equal to 750 nanometer, find lambda 2. करो. आ रहा है समझ में? Is the question clear? एट 857 के आसपास आएगा आंसर. ठीक है, 856.9 अप्रोक्सीमेटली करेक्ट. Answer is 857.14 nanometers. चलेगा. ठीक है, ऐसे सिंपल सा देखो. There's a dye which absorbs a photon of lambda is equal to 400 nanometer. Then it emits the absorbed energy in the form of two different photons. Lambda 1 is equal to 750 nanometers. Lambda 2 is to be calculated. Okay. The basis of the calculation is whatever is the energy absorbed is equal to energy emitted. The basis is energy absorbed is equal to energy emitted. Energy is absorbed in the form of a single photon, whereas it is emitted in the form of two different photons. Energy absorbed will be hc by lambda. Energy emitted will be hc by lambda 1 plus hc by lambda 2. ये एक्सप्रेशन क्लियर है सबको? Now we'll cancel out hc. ठीक है, hc will be cancelled out. We'll get 1 upon lambda is equal to 1 upon lambda 1 plus 1 upon lambda 2. lambda 1 minus lambda upon lambda 1 lambda. Lambda 2 is equal to lambda 1 lambda upon lambda 1 minus lambda. So this is 750 into 400 upon 750 minus 400. 1 second. Okay. So 750 into 400 upon 350. It will cancel by 5. 5 8s are 40. 5 7s are 35. So 750 into 8 by 7. If we solve it, it becomes 857.142, etc. Clear है ये? Next, we'll start with the Bohr's atomic model. We'll study photoelectric effect separately. Photoelectric effect and related calculations we'll discuss separately. Next topic लिखो. We'll study about the Bohr's atomic model. We'll write its postulates. Okay. And based on those postulates, we'll try to explain the calculations for energy of an electron, calculations for speed of an electron, radius of revolution of an electron, okay, with respect to the Bohr's atomic model. Okay. So one of the most important significance or the important result of Bohr's atomic model was it could successfully explain the hydrogen spectrum. Hydrogen spectrum is an experimental phenomenon. It's a phenomenon related to hydrogen atoms. Okay. The experiment was performed, and that experiment, the results obtained in those experiments could not be explained by the Rutherford's model. Okay. The need of a new model was arose to explain the results obtained in the hydrogen spectrum. Bohr used some assumptions, and based on his assumptions, he made some calculations, and those calculations could successfully explain the results obtained in the hydrogen spectrum. Okay, the Bohr's model is significant, okay, as it could successfully explain the hydrogen spectrum, and later on, similar results could be applied to other atoms also. Okay, so we'll first study about the Bohr's postulates, the Bohr's atomic model, the results in the Bohr's atomic model. Then you will use these results to understand the hydrogen spectrum. Okay. So Bohr's atomic model will write its postulates. पहला पॉइंट है, इट्स वैलिड only for single electron species. Atoms or ions containing a single electron in them. Effectively, it is valid only for one atom. Neutral atom में केवल hydrogen atom के लिए valid है. Other species for which it is valid are He plus ions, Li2 plus ions, beryllium 3 plus ions, etc. ठीक है? It's difficult to form He plus. It's difficult to form Li2 plus. But if formed, we can apply Bohr's atomic model on these ions. Okay. Theoretically, any element X with atomic number Z and having a positive charge of Z minus 1 is a single electron species. ठीक है, जैसे if you consider sodium atom, atomic number is 11, the charge on sodium should be plus 10. So sodium 10 plus is a single electron species. The Bohr's model is valid on Na10 plus. It does not exist, okay, but theoretically Bohr's model is valid for all those ions or atoms which contain only one electron. ठीक है, clear है ये? टर्न करूं? One second. Second point. The electron revolves around the nucleus in some fixed circular orbits in which the angular momentum of the electron is quantized. Angular momentum is often denoted by a letter L. Of electron is quantized. Angular momentum of electron is quantized. Linear momentum पढ़ा है हमने physics में. Linear momentum is mass into velocity mv. Angular momentum is associated with circular motion of an object. If an object having mass m is moving with a velocity v such that its radius of revolution is r, so angular momentum L is calculated as mvr. For an electron, it is quantized. Quantization याद करो मैंने explain किया था, when a property can have some definite values, it can be expressed as whole number multiples of something and not as fractional multiples of that. We say that the quantity is quantized. So angular momentum can have only some definite values. It cannot have any value between those two definite values. It is found that it was proposed by Bohr's model that angular momentum is a whole number multiple of h by 2 pi. How did he conclude that? We'll not get into those calculations that require some advanced calculations, but we'll simply take down the Bohr's assumption, this Bohr's postulate. Okay. As per the Bohr's postulate, the angular momentum of electron is quantized and it has to be a whole number multiple of h by 2 pi. MVR is equal to nh by 2 pi. Clear है ये? यहाँ पे what does n represent? N represents the orbit number. In the first orbit, n equal to 1, angular momentum will be h by 2 pi. In the second orbit, the angular momentum will be 2h by 2 pi. In the third orbit, angular momentum will be 3h by 2 pi, and so on. It can revolve in only those orbits, it can be present in only those orbits in which its angular momentum is a multiple of h by 2 pi. ठीक है, क्लियर है ये पॉइंट? थर्ड पॉइंट देखो, the energy of electron in these orbits is also quantized. Energy remains constant as long as electron remains in a particular orbit. So in a given orbit, energy of an electron remains constant. Therefore, the orbits are also referred to as stationary states or simply energy states. First orbit is often called as the first state, first energy state. Second orbit is the second state, third orbit is the third energy state, and so on. Okay? Energy of electron in a given orbit remains constant. Clear है ये point? Turn करूं page? Shall I turn the page? Next देखो, fourth point. Energy is absorbed or released only when electron jumps from one orbit to another. Only when electron jumps from one orbit to another. Okay, and this energy is absorbed or released in the form of photons only when electron jumps from one orbit to another. We say that when electron jumps from a higher orbit to a lower orbit, some energy is released. Okay. When electron jumps from a higher orbit to a lower orbit, some energy is released. And this is in the form of a photon of frequency nu or wavelength lambda. Applying the conservation of energy, we say that energy released will be equal to h nu, will be equal to hc by lambda, will be equal to the difference in energies of the two orbits. Which is nothing but the delta E, the difference in energies of the two orbits. Of electron in the two orbits. Similarly, to jump from a lower orbit to a higher orbit, an electron must absorb some energy. A photon is absorbed during the process where an electron jumps from a lower orbit to a higher orbit. We say that during this process energy is absorbed. And this energy absorbed is equal to h nu is equal to hc by lambda. Okay. And the magnitude of energy absorbed, energy released will be again delta E is equal to En2 minus En1 is equal to h nu is equal to hc by lambda. Clear है ये? The magnitude of energy absorbed during movement of electron from a lower orbit to higher orbit is exactly same as the magnitude of energy released when electron jumps from the higher orbit to the lower orbit. Okay? And the energy is always released or absorbed in the form of photons. When one electron jumps, one photon is absorbed or released. When it jumps from a higher orbit to a lower orbit, a photon is released. When it jumps from a lower orbit to a higher orbit, a photon is absorbed. Clear है ये? Next we'll do, based on these postulates, we'll do some calculations on the Bohr's model. Turn करूं page. These are postulates of Bohr's model. Next we'll do calculations. Calculation of energy. Sequentially लिखते हैं पहले. Calculation of radius, speed, kinetic energy, potential energy, and total energy of an electron in different orbits. We'll use the Bohr's model to understand these calculations. We'll derive some formulae. This is a nucleus, an electron revolving around the nucleus. Okay. So there are two forces acting simultaneously. There is an electrostatic force which is attracting electron towards the nucleus. And there's an outward force, that is the centrifugal force. Okay. As the radius of revolution is constant, electrons revolve around the nucleus in some fixed circular orbits with some fixed values of r. Okay. Electron is neither moving towards the nucleus nor moving away from the nucleus. So these two forces must be balanced. The electrostatic force must be balanced by the centrifugal force. Fr here is the centrifugal force. We'll understand its calculation in physics. This is equal to mv square by r, where v is the speed at which the object is rotating, m is its mass, r is the radius of revolution. Here v will be the speed of electron, m will be the mass of electron, r will be the radius of the orbit. Fe is the electrostatic force between the electron and the nucleus. This is equal to k q1 q2 upon r square. Q1, we can assume the charge on the nucleus. Suppose atomic number is Z, the charge on the nucleus is Ze. Q2 charge on the electron. We are calculating the magnitude, so we'll only put the magnitude of charges upon r square. So this becomes kZe square upon r square. So one equation we'll get as Fe is equal to Fr. We'll get kZe square upon r square is equal to mv square upon r. आ रहा है समझ में ये? Is this clear to everyone? Now we'll simplify this slightly. Or we get kZe square upon r is equal to mv square. Suppose we write this as equation 1. Ansh, can you raise your hands? Ansh? हाँ अंश बोलो.
So I didn't understand how you got kZe square by r square.
Did you get this? K q1 q2 by r square?
Yeah.
Q1, we are calculating the force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron. If Q1 is the nucleus, Q2 is the electron.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Charge on nucleus is due to the protons present in the nucleus.
Yeah.
each proton has a charge of 1e. Suppose if we have z protons, z is the atomic number, so number of protons is equal to z. Total charge on z protons will be Ze,
Okay. Okay, sir.
and charge on one electron is 1e magnitude wise.
Yes.
Therefore, we
Yes.
get it as equal to kz square by r square. Got it?
Got it, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you.
So the simplified expression becomes kz square by r is equal to mv square. Now, from Bohr's postulate, we have mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, or v is equal to nh by 2 pi mr. Suppose this is 2. Now we'll put 2 in 1. Okay, so we'll get kz e square upon r is equal to m into v square. This is nh by 2 pi mr ka whole square. Now solving this, kz e square upon r is equal to m into n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square. Okay, now further simplifying this r and r square cancel, this m and m square cancel, so we'll get r is equal to n square h square upon 4 pi square m kz e square. This is the expression for r. ये पूरा expression, it's not necessary to memorize. Okay, suppose we can write this as equation 3. इसका एक simplified form हम याद रखते हैं. We write or r is equal to, we remove the constant terms, h square upon 4 pi square m k e square into n square by z. N is the orbit number, z is the atomic number. So for different species, for different atomic numbers, z will be different. For different orbits, n will be different. H, Planck's constant, is a constant. 4 pi is a constant. M, mass of electron, it has a constant value. K is the electrostatic constant. It has a constant value in vacuum. Even in a air, it is almost same. E square is the charge on the electron, magnitude of charge on electron is a constant. So all other terms are constant. Okay. We simplify this expression as, ये नोट कर लो, मैं नेक्स्ट पेज में कंटिन्यू करता हूँ एक्सप्रेशन. टर्न करूं पेज. We write this as, we replace constant terms h square 4 pi square m k e square by another constant. We write this as a naught, or we get r is equal to a naught into n square by z. What is this a naught? And we can also write or r is proportional to n square by z. So we'll memorize these two results. These are important results. वैल्यू ऑफ ए नॉट मैं लिखा देता हूँ, इसका सिग्निफिकेंस भी बता देता हूँ. ठीक है. What happens if n is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1? If n is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1, we'll get r is equal to a naught. If n is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1, then r is equal to a naught. Okay, so we can say that a naught is the radius of first orbit of hydrogen atom. Z is equal to 1, any hydrogen atom, atomic number 1 is for hydrogen, and equal to 1 is the first orbit. So we can say that a naught is the radius of first Bohr's orbit of hydrogen atom. Often it is simply referred to as the first Bohr radius. Okay, because Bohr's model was proposed mainly for the hydrogen atom, a naught is sometimes also called as the first Bohr radius. Clear है ये? The value of A naught we have to memorize. The value of A naught is 0.529 angstrom. The value of A naught is 0.529 angstrom. Clear है ये? Next देखो. So this was the calculation of radius. Now let us do the calculation of speed. We'll put the expression of r into. Actually, put 3 into. टू क्या था? 2 was v is equal to nh upon 2 pi mr. और r की जगह we'll put the expression from 3. R is n square h square upon 4 pi square m k z e square. ठीक है, अभी सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं एक्सप्रेशंस. ये m और m कैंसिल, ये n और n स्क्वायर का स्क्वायर कैंसिल, h और h स्क्वायर का स्क्वायर कैंसिल, ये 2 पाई और 4 पाई स्क्वायर का 2 पाई बच जाएगा. ठीक है, तो दिस कम्स आउट टू बी, और v is equal to 2 pi k z e square upon nh. This is, we can write it as equation 4. ठीक है, इसमें भी कांस्टेंट टर्म्स अलग कर लेंगे. कांस्टेंट टर्म अलग करके वी कैन सिंप्लीफाई दिस एक्सप्रेशन. क्लियर है ये? नेक्स्ट देखो, separating the constant terms. 2 pi k e square upon h is a constant. We can write v is equal to 2 pi k e square upon h into z by n, or v is equal to v naught into z by n. We'll memorize this result, or v is proportional to z by n. ठीक है? What is v naught? V naught is the speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom. If you put z is equal to 1, n is equal to 1, we'll get v is equal to v naught. So we can say that v naught is the speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom. If we calculate its value by putting the values of these constants 2 pi k e square and h, v naught comes out to be equal to 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. तो याद रखना है ये value भी. The values of v naught, a naught we have to memorize. With the help of these formulae, we can find out the speed of electron in different orbits. We can find out the radius of different orbits, okay, using either of these two formulae. Clear है ये? एक सेकेंड रुकना. Now we'll derive expression for kinetic energy, potential energy and total energy. ठीक है? Kinetic energy is half mv square. We'll put v from 4. ठीक है? v का क्या expression लिखा था हमने? 2 pi k z e square by nh. We'll put that expression. We'll square it and simplify the expression. We get ke is equal to 2 pi square m k square z square e to the power 4 upon n square h square. ठीक है? क्लियर है ये काइनेटिक एनर्जी का एक्सप्रेशन? वी डोंट हैव टू मेमोराइज दिस एंटायर एक्सप्रेशन. मैं एक सिंप्लीफाइड फॉर्म कराता हूँ. ठीक है? ये पूरा एक्सप्रेशन मेमोराइज करना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है, बट once you know how to start the derivation, you can derive it anyway. Questions can be modified slightly. कभी कभी क्या है, हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेश्चन में जैसे हमने ये पोस्टुलेट लिखा mvr इज इक्वल टू nh बाई 2 पाई. ये जो बोर्स का पोस्टुलेट लिखा था हमने, mvr इज इक्वल टू nh बाई 2 पाई. दिस प्लेज एन इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन आर डेरिवेशन, क्योंकि इस पोस्टुलेट के बेसिस पे ही हमने सारा फॉर्मूला डिराइव किया है. ठीक है? कभी कभी हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेश्चन में पोस्टुलेट चेंज कर देंगे. सपोज द पोस्टुलेट इज mvr इज nh बाई 3 पाई, देन व्हाट विल बी द फॉर्मूला. तो फिर उस पोस्टुलेट के बेसिस पे हमें डिराइव करना आना चाहिए. ठीक है? तो basis of derivation, we start the derivation by these two equations. Which two equations? One is the Bohr's postulate and another is the equating the electrostatic force and the centrifugal force. ठीक है? तो these two equations form the basis of our derivation for radius, speed, energy, etc. Clear है ये? खुद से derive कर पाओगे तुम लोग अगर कभी derive करने को आया तो? ठीक है. वैसे we are not expecting subjective questions in JEE mains or JEE advanced, but still you must know these derivations. ठीक है? There will be sometimes questions asked based on one of these steps of the derivation. So theory, learning theory is also important. Learning the concepts is also important. ठीक है? Problem solving will become easier once you have learned the concepts, learn the derivations thoroughly. ठीक है? तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी हो गया. नाउ लेट अस डिराइव द एक्सप्रेशन फॉर पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. नाउ लेट अस रिकॉल द फॉर्मूला ऑफ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. याद करो हमने पोटेंशियल एनर्जी का फॉर्मूला किया था. पोटेंशियल एनर्जी इज k q1 q2 अपॉन r. ठीक है? एंड विल पुट द वैल्यू ऑफ चार्जेस विद देयर साइंस, बिकॉज पोटेंशियल एनर्जी कैन बी पॉजिटिव, कैन बी नेगेटिव. नेगेटिव पोटेंशियल एनर्जी रिप्रेजेंट्स the particles are attracting each other. Positive potential energy represents the particles are repelling each other. ठीक है? ये सिग्निफिकेंस मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया है पहले भी. ठीक है? नेक्स्ट देखो, put the value of q1 and q2. और potential energy is equal to charge on the nucleus is Ze, charge on the electron is minus E upon R, which is equal to minus kZe square upon R. Now put R from, R का expression put करेंगे. R का क्या expression लिखा था हमने? Third expression, n square h square by 4 pi square m kZe square. We'll put R from 3. This expression में लिखेंगे put R from 3. We get potential energy is equal to minus kZe square upon R का वैल्यू पुट करेंगे n square h square upon 4 pi square m kZe square. ठीक है? इसको सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे तो विल गेट और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी इज इक्वल टू minus 4 pi square m k square z square e to the power 4 upon n square h square. So this is the expression for potential energy of an electron. Let us write this as 6. क्लियर है ये एक्सप्रेशन? देखो प्रीवियस पेज देख लो एक बार। हो गया? अभी टर्न करूं? Now the compare the expressions of kinetic energy and potential energy. Compare the expressions of kinetic energy and potential energy. We'll get on comparing 5 and 6. We get potential energy is -2 times kinetic energy. एक important result है ये. ये समझ आ रहा है ये? Potential energy is 2 times kinetic energy with a negative sign. Now, total energy E will be equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy की जगह हम पुट करेंगे -2 ke plus ke is equal to -ke. And this is equal to nothing but P by 2. So we'll rather memorize this result. Total energy is equal to minus of kinetic energy is equal to potential energy by 2. This is valid for single electron species. Total energy is minus of kinetic energy is equal to potential energy by 2. क्लियर है ये? नेक्स्ट देखो, Now, writing the expression for total energy, it becomes equal to minus Ke, and minus Ke is equal to minus 2 pi square m K square Z square e to the power 4 upon n square h square. Separating the constant terms, minus 2 pi square m K square e to the power 4 upon h square into Z square by n square, which is written as, we can write this as minus E naught into Z square by n square. So we'll memorize this result, or E is proportional to Z square by n square. E naught is equal to the magnitude of energy of the first orbit, energy of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom. Okay. Value of E naught is equal to 13.6 electron volts per atom, which is equal to 2.178 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules per atom, which is sometimes also expressed in kilojoules per mole, approximately 1312 kilojoules per mole. The most important and significant value is the 13.6 electron volt. Most of the questions use this value, 13.6 electron volt. We can convert this into different units. We have learned the conversions. Using those conversions, हम इसको different units में convert कर सकते हैं. Clear है ये? Now let us do some simple questions based on this. Just to be able to understand how to apply these formulae, let us do some simple questions based on this. Run करूं page? Find radius of third orbit in He plus ion, speed of electron in second orbit of Li2 plus ion, energy of electron in third orbit of hydrogen, kinetic energy of electron in third orbit of B3 plus, potential energy of electron in fourth orbit of He plus. ठीक है, तो लेट अस सॉल्व दीज वन बाय वन. डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करके सॉल्व करना है. ठीक है, तो विल कीप इन माइंड द फॉर्मूले फॉर रेडियस, formulae for speed, formulae for kinetic energy, potential energy. One by one, let us solve it. Third orbit of He plus, तो n का वैल्यू 3, He plus मतलब z का वैल्यू 2 आ गया, एटॉमिक नंबर 2. ठीक है, this is the significance. Third orbit of He plus, n is equal to 3, z is equal to 2. Now we'll put r is equal to a naught into n square by z. Value of a naught is 0.529 angstrom. N square is 3 square upon 2. So 0.529 into 9 by 4. into 9 by 4. This comes out to be 1.190 angstrom. क्लियर है ये कैसे अप्लाई करना है? Similarly, next one, speed of electron in second orbit of Li2 plus. ठीक है, Li2 plus मतलब atomic number 3, second orbit, n का value 2. तो n is equal to 2, z is equal to 3. Now v is equal to v naught into z by n, 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 into z by n is 3 by 2 meter per second. So 3.27 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. क्लियर है ये? आ रहा है समझ में? टर्न करूं पेज? Next is energy of electron in the third orbit of hydrogen atom. Energy of electron in the third orbit of hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom, atomic number 1, third orbit, n equal to 3. Energy is equal to minus E naught into z square by n square. ये ना? Z square by n square. This is minus 13.6 into 1 square by 3 square electron volt. Minus 13.6 by 9 electron volt. तो approximately 1.5 आ जाएगा. 1.51 electron volts. Clear है ये? Now how to find potential energy and kinetic energy? Potential and kinetic energy के लिए मैंने डायरेक्ट कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं लिखा है. ठीक है, तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी पोटेंशियल एनर्जी निकालने के लिए पहले टोटल एनर्जी निकालेंगे एंड देन वी कैन रिलेट टोटल एनर्जी टू काइनेटिक एनर्जी एंड पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. ठीक है, फोर्थ क्वेश्चन इज थर्ड ऑर्बिट ऑफ बेरिलियम. थर्ड ऑर्बिट ऑफ बेरिलियम, बेरिलियम इज एटॉमिक नंबर 4, थर्ड ऑर्बिट n is equal to 3. We'll first find out the energy. Energy is equal to minus E naught into z square by n square. ई नॉट के टर्म्स में वैल्यू निकाल लेते हैं पहले. Z इज 4, तो 4 स्क्वायर इज 16 अपॉन 3 स्क्वायर. तो ई नॉट इंटू 16/9. Kinetic energy is equal to minus of total energy. So that is equal to minus of minus 16/9 E naught is equal to 16/9 E naught. 16/9 into 13.6 eV. So this is 24.177 electron volt. Clear है ये fourth one? So to find out kinetic energy also we'll first find out total energy. Then negative of total energy is the kinetic energy. So magnitude wise total energy is same as the kinetic energy. Now last part is the potential energy of third orbit of beryllium. Sorry, potential energy of fourth orbit of He plus. Fourth orbit of He plus, helium atomic number 2, fourth orbit n equal to 4. We'll find out energy. Energy is equal to minus E naught into Z square by n square, 2 square by 4 square. This comes out to be equal to minus E naught by 4. Potential energy is 2 times total energy is equal to minus E naught by 2 is equal to minus 13.6 by 2 minus 6.8 electron volt. Clear है ये? ये सारे कैलकुलेशंस क्लियर हैं सबको? दो और कैलकुलेशंस करेंगे. कैलकुलेशन ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन एंड टाइम पीरियड ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन. ठीक है, तो ये दो और कैलकुलेशंस करते हैं हम. पेज टर्न करूं? पहले विल डू द टाइम पीरियड ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन. It is the time required to complete one revolution. ये जल्दी से कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं. टाइम रिक्वायर्ड टू कंप्लीट वन रिवॉल्यूशन. ठीक है, डिस्टेंस इज इक्वल टू स्पीड बाय टाइम, तो टाइम इज इक्वल टू डिस्टेंस बाय स्पीड. Distance in one revolution will be 2 pi r and speed is v. तो टाइम पीरियड ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन इज 2 pi r अपॉन v. ठीक है, इसको सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे तो r इज इक्वल टू a नॉट इंटू n स्क्वायर बाई z and v is equal to v naught into z by n. So, or we get t is equal to 2 pi a naught by v naught into n cube by z square. So we'll at least memorize the proportionality here. T is proportional to n cube by z square. Similarly, we'll talk about frequency of revolution. What is frequency of revolution? It is the number of revolutions made by an electron per second. It is the number of revolutions per second. Per second एक इलेक्ट्रॉन कितने revolutions कर रहा है. Frequency of revolution is 1 upon the time period of revolution. And this is equal to v naught by 2 pi a naught into z square by n cube. एक सेकंड रुकना. So frequency is 1 upon time period. Frequency of revolution will be 1 upon time period. Will be v naught by 2 pi a naught into z square by n cube. ठीक है. Or we can write frequency is proportional to z square by n cube. Turn करूं पेज. Or frequency of revolution is proportional to z square by upon n cube. For frequency of revolution and time period of revolution, we'll at least keep in mind the proportionality. ठीक है, आज इतना ही करते हैं हम. मैं होमवर्क बता देता हूँ कितना करना है हम लोग को. एक सेकंड रुकना. होमवर्क आई विल गिव यू आफ्टर योर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. ठीक है, अभी ज़्यादा कुछ हम सॉल्व नहीं कर पाएंगे. ठीक है, अभी रिवाइज करो ये डेरिवेशंस, ध्यान से देखो. ठीक है, विल गिव होमवर्क आफ्टर द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. बोर्ड्स मॉडल में they will study some definitions, also some important terms, and then with the help of those definitions and we'll practice some more questions, then I'll give you some homework. ठीक है, आज के लिए हम इतना ही करते हैं। तो आज हमने एनर्जी का डेरिवेशन, काइनेटिक एनर्जी, पोटेंशियल एनर्जी, रेडियस का डेरिवेशन, स्पीड का डेरिवेशन और फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन और टाइम पीरियड ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन का डेरिवेशन किया। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में विल डू सम मोर क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन दीज एंड देन विल सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द बुकलेट। ठीक है, तो टिल देन रिवाइज द नोट्स एंड रिवाइज द प्लैंक्स क्वांटम थ्योरी। चलो, थैंक यू एवरीवन, हैव अ नाइस डे, यू टू, एंड टेक केयर।